Hi, I'm from Queens, New York. Brought up in an Italian family in an Italian neighborhood. Growing up was great. Every morning, mom would make us breakfast. Dad would be out to work. It was five of us. Growing up, however, in the neighborhood got tough at times, especially with trying to be cool, be in. There was a lot of competition, a lot of peer pressure. I remember almost before I was a teen, my parents were having some arguments. There was some conflict in the family, and I think I was looking for attention. I was looking for, just somewhere to belong, I guess, and friends. So I started leaving my old friends and trying to find new friends, and I found the wrong friends because they led me to drugs. I was cutting out of school. I just wanted to be cool. I wanted to be accepted. Wanted to be liked. I remember when I was a kid, I actually cut out of school when I was in fifth grade. It was the first time, that early I started cutting out of school. I think my parents were just so wrapped up in their own stuff. And I remember it was raining one day so hard that I didn't know where to go. And the only thing that was open was this church, my parish church, which we really didn't go that much, maybe Christmas and Easter. Anyway, it was open, so I went in there with my friend, and we sat there, and I remember saying to myself, it's funny how we're here, we're supposed to be in school. My mother and his mother were looking all around for us, I remember, but that's where it all started. I just, I started just doing whatever I wanted, and I didn't care. It led to drugs, led to bad friendships, for friends that were really not my friends, but I just wanted to please them. And remember, it got so bad that my parents were considering putting me in a rehab. They tried to put me in a rehab, but I kept leaving because I didn't want to be there. It was residential, and at that point, the rehab told my parents not to take me back home when I would go home. So I was left on my own. I was on the streets. I would go into apartment buildings and sleep on the roofs, take everyone's welcome mat for my bed. Then I started sleeping at some friends' houses, mooching off of them. It was a nightmare. And the drugs didn't stop. I remember once I couldn't even find any rolling paper for my weed. But I saw a Bible and I said, that paper's pretty thin. So I started rolling joints with Bible paper. I mean, there was a spiritual blindness that I did not know what I was doing. And things just got worse. I mean, I started selling drugs. I even sold fake drugs. And the guys that I sold the fake drugs to would come to me and say, that was the best stuff. It was all a lie. We were lying to each other. Everyone lied. Just so there wasn't everyone would please each other. It was disastrous. And deep down inside, I really wanted something purposeful. I wanted purpose. I wanted something. I knew my life was meant for more. And so I always did believe in God, but I always thought that, I'd think about, he was there, but, what I was doing was something else in my life. And, I never really connected with God that much, but every now and then when I was in trouble, I knew he was near. But during those days when I was homeless and I was mooching from friends and so forth, I started to delve into New Age practices. I was doing astral projection, if you ever heard of that, or I was, reading horoscopes and doing stuff that was just, spiritual. I thought being spiritual is the way, and it led me to worse things. I experienced evil, especially when I was asleep. I remember having feeling a presence pushing down on my chest, and I could feel my whole body get cold, and I could feel it was trying to, like, move into me or something, and I would panic, and I knew something was wrong. I knew that I had gone too far. So when I eventually did get back to the rehab because I had nowhere to go, I started to look into stuff and started to read, but the rehab was long. I was there for like 3 years or so. But I met someone at the rehab and they invited me to a retreat. And at first I was like, look, I'm not going on no retreat. I don't sing Kumbaya. I don't hold hands. I'm not into this Christian stuff, Spirituality, okay, it's fine, but I'm not into this Christian stuff. And he was like, all right, whatever. But then one night I went to a vigil, which was at a church, and I thought, oh, maybe if it's at a church, I don't have to be as, it's not a retreat or something. I don't have to, people I don't have to talk or anything. I could just sit there in the pew. So I went to this vigil he invited me to, and it was on All Hallows Eve, which means Halloween. When I walked into that church, it was kind of dark, but there was something up on the altar. I was like, what is that? And I remembered it was the Eucharist, the Holy Communion, which we had when I was young. I was like, why did they put that there? And for the first time, I never experienced that. If you ever get the chance to experience what they call adoration, I recommend it. It changed my life. Well, when I sat down, I looked around. There was all these friars, Franciscans, sitting around me praying. And for the first time in my life, I felt the presence of God so tangible, so strong. And I was just blown away. And the presence of Jesus Christ in that Blessed Sacrament, in that host, was so... I could feel the glow. It was like glowing, burning in my soul. I was like, this is real. For the first time. I never knew it. But I remember as a little child, because we didn't go to church much, I remember like taking my Italian bread and I would take the middle out and I would just squeeze it and I would eat it and make it like a little host. And I remember I did that because I think I longed for that bread. When I did have it at Holy Communion, when I made my first communion, I longed for Jesus in Holy Communion. And I made that connection there. I was like, wow, this is really real. Anyhow, from there, I started taking my faith seriously. I started reading the Bible. I started to, really try to pray. But I knew there was a lot of healing I needed to go through. All the drugs, the New Age stuff. So I got to talking with this priest. I went to confession. Father Glenn, he's a very good priest, a friend of mine. And he heard my confession. I told him all the stuff that I did, the New Age, the sexual sins, the drugs, everything I told him. And he decided he wanted to do a deliverance prayer. And I'll tell you, after that deliverance prayer, he said some prayers over me. I could feel just lighter. I could feel just being freed from all these strongholds, the strongholds of pride and of lust and of anger. You probably wouldn't think I'm an angry guy, and I'm not now so much, but even when I was younger, but I was an angry guy. I was an angry boy, angry at the world, angry at everybody. But I held it inside. And what I really was looking for was freedom, because I wanted control. I wanted to control people with my anger. I wanted to control my life. I was a rebel. Now I realized that what I really wanted was God. What I really needed was God. I needed love. And for the first time I experienced that love, and that love really transformed me, especially knowing that Christ took my place, that he was okay with my sins. Like, he didn't deny me because all those things I did. He forgave me. And when that clicked, that I was really forgiven, that it's okay, that I'm okay, that who I am is okay. It just changed everything for me. It made me the man that I am today, it took me on a path of the hope that I have in my life and the joy that I experience. So I still struggle. I'm not saying like life was great. You know, I still struggle with depression. I struggled with just setbacks. Trying to get work. And I remember, it's not just, God doesn't just do everything for you. You have to do it. You have to work at it. Someone told me, my aunt told me, she says, God gave us hands to pray, but he also gave us hands to work. So I started working hard. I was even exercising. I was running, and that was helping my mental health. And, the work was helping me get out of this depression and to feel good about myself, to start being responsible. And today, I have my own business. I started my own business, and it's very successful. I make pizza for a living. I have a food truck. And if you would have asked me, I don't know, 20 years ago or so, if I would have my own business, I would have laughed at you. I was making minimum wage washing dishes. I never really had I went to school, but I never really got, anything, I didn't go far. I had some good jobs here and there, but I never thought I had my own business, and I love it now. I love serving people. I love when people enjoy my food. It makes me feel really great that I can contribute. One of the scriptures that really resonates with me throughout my life is the scripture where Jesus says that the birds are fed, and God takes care of the birds. Why wouldn't he take care of you so much? Or he knows every hair on your head, even though I'm losing a lot of hair. But the thing is, he knows everything about you, and he cares about you. See, I didn't really get that, and now I do, that he's really concerned about everything, about me, about everyone. And I'm just so grateful to know that there's this fatherly care that really keeps me going, and has actually helped me to become more of a father. I've developed a fatherly heart because of the way I've experienced God as Father. And as far as the future goes, I am hopeful. I have all the hope in the world for a successful business, for the future. Every day I wake up, I know that I have hope because of Jesus Christ, and I'm forever grateful.